Hey, so here's the situation here. We got a team of two that's rounding the corner that we didn't want to jump on immediately. This is because, in these situations, you usually want to assess and see if perhaps another team is around stalking the first team that you saw. This clip's all about applying the right amount of pressure. There's a few good building situations too that I wanted to give some commentary on, so stick around and you'll see some pretty good tips on how to apply good open field pressure, good open field builds offensively and defensively. So we don't have high ground here. We're actually in the low ground. We can use this mountain here as some protection. I figured that somebody may have seen us, but I really didn't want to run out into the open there just to confirm it. But don't give up your positioning unless you really have to. This is what I was talking about prior, building in layers. By putting out more surfaces and more material, you're not only blocking more shots, you're confusing your enemy. They don't know quite where you are. You're putting up more protection for you, which you can work more angles to get better offensive shots. You're also ensuring that any sort of rockets or grenades that come your way are going to stop before they really reach that back line. So gives you a little bit more of a protection, maybe to heal or work for a better angle. Also, I just try to think, right now in this situation, I had like 60 assault rifle bullets. And if somebody threw up, 5 or 6 surfaces in front of me, that means I'm going to have to commit at least half of my bullets to breaking down some walls. And given how many other teams might be in the area, I might not want to commit to that. So this is a little bit forward. We kind of ran to the south side of the map. This is an important area to pay attention to. This particular portion of the map is mostly rolling hills and open area. There really is no high ground to work with or a dense city. So we wanted to make sure that we were going to stay towards the highest given portion of the map. If you take a look at the resources, the amount of resources that I have there, I have 999 wood and 890 stone. So going into this last storm, or the last few storms, I knew I had an ample opportunity to put up good buildings and potentially go into a solid sky base. So that's why we wanted to work towards the highest ground possible. So by being on the south side of this inner circle, as you can take a look on the mini-map there, by building up in this location, even if the next storm were to be closer to where the dirt field is or where the farmhouse is, I have more than enough resources to build a balcony out there. The most critical aspect of the success of a sky base like that right now is having a strong, solid base. If you know you might be doing something along these lines, don't just make a standard 4x4 box. At the very least, make a shoe box. 2 sides that are long, 2 sides that are short. This will allow you to create a bigger, stronger balcony with more surfaces. It'll give you more angles to work offensively, but also provides more protection for you and requires your opponent to use more ammo in order to knock you out of the sky. Pika and I are communicating. We're just making sure by paying attention to the minimap that we're both looking in opposite directions, ensuring we're not going to get flanked or built up upon. These stairs that you see me building here are for sniper protection and also some rocket protection. It's just another barrier between the immediate wall that I have. So if they are going to shoot rockets or try to get a headshot, that I just have a little bit more of a buffer. What you're going to see next is me setting up for the sky-based balcony. I don't like to go vertical with sky-based builds with just stairs. I think that creates a backboard or surface that's really to hit from any portion of a tiny circle. If you have a flat surface like a ceiling or floor, not exactly every position of that circle is easy to maintain or manage that right angle to hit the shot. I think it's also less obvious as far as what will support one another. But this is also why I encourage, if you are going to do a base, you do not just expand out on one direction of your box. So you wouldn't just build your balcony north. You would build it north and east, or north and west. Take two sides of your balcony to expand outward. This makes it even more difficult for individuals to knock it out. So based on the next storm that we just saw, the small one that's right next to us, we know the other individuals who built a base across from us are going to have to close closer to us. I'm setting up to expand out with this balcony. I also understand that the storm is going to close around the structure we're currently in. This is a best case scenario for a sky base build. Considering the base that could get knocked out by explosives is now going to be covered by the storm, so it's an even bigger risk for your opponents to go knock it out. So at this point, the wider and more surfaces you put on your balcony, the more protection and more offense you're going to have. We got 6 people left. With the 2 of us, that's 4 to kill. It's important just to keep your head down still. Pretend like you're playing whack-a-mole. You don't really want to come up in the same location twice. Think of what your opponent is trying to do in this situation. If they're hiding and they see this massive base, they're trying to get a headshot with a sniper rifle. Doesn't sound like they have rockets. Make it more difficult for them. Don't pop up in the same place twice. So I'm going 2 sides, almost 3 sides actually, with this balcony, going as wide as possible. This is to create more angles. It's also to discourage my enemies from wanting to waste that much ammo to try to knock out some of these tiles. It's also a good idea at this point to knock out whatever hiding spaces these individuals may be in, the trees namely. Not that there's many locations for them to hide, but sometimes just by applying that type of pressure, hearing the gunshots, seeing that sanctuary evaporate around them, puts enough pressure that somebody will make a mistake. And there he is. I give this guy a lot of credit at the end here. He had a lot of resources and he was pretty good at panic building. What Pika and I ensured to do was make sure that we were able to keep up the fire between one another's reloads, or to be able to apply explosives, other type of pressure. We didn't want him to expand out or to be able to build up. And honestly, if this went on too much longer, I could have just built our base out a little bit more, or built down so we could have set up a flank. It's still important to pay attention to the minimap so you do not get caught in the storm or having to jump off of a sky base build while you're trying to apply pressure. But bottom line, don't give up your position unless you have to. Try to maintain good pressure, keep up good head movement, make it difficult for an enemy sniper. Use as many resources as you possibly can. Thanks for checking out our channel. We're going to have plenty more tips, reviews, commentaries, and other sorts of resources coming out about Fortnite and other games you like. Check out our Twitch and Instagram at B2B Gaming. Take it easy.